My partner of 5 years built a new life for us without my permission. Now I found out why. My partner Liam and I have been together for 5 years. We built a life, not a perfect one, but a really good one. We have a small apartment in a city we both claim to love. I have a job in graphic design that I genuinely enjoy. I'm not saving the world, but I'm creative, I'm respected, and I have work friends I actually hang out with on weekends. Liam works in logistics. It's stressful, but it pays the bills, and he always seemed to like the challenge. Our life was comfortable. We had routines, pizza on Fridays, long walks in the park on Sundays. We were saving up for a potential house deposit, but we were in no rush. We were happy. Or at least I was. About 3 months ago, Liam's entire personality changed. It was like a switch flipped. It started with an email. He forwarded me a job posting for a senior designer role. This was normal. We'd send each other things sometimes. But this one was different. The job was in Northwood. Northwood is a 4-hour drive away. It's a smaller industrial city. Not exactly a creative hub. I told him thanks, but I was not interested. I liked my job. He pushed a little. He said the pay was almost double my current salary. I said the money was not worth leaving my entire life behind. He seemed to drop it, but he did not drop it. A few days later, he brought it up again over dinner. He had done research. He talked about the lower cost of living in Northwood. He talked about the cleaner air. He talked about how we could afford a house there now. I was confused. This was not the Liam I knew. The Liam I knew was cautious. He was the one who insisted we build our emergency fund before we even started a house fund. This new Liam was impulsive and fixated. I told him again, more firmly, Liam, I am not moving to Northwood. I am happy here. We are happy here. Please let this go. He got quiet. He apologized. He said he was just stressed about money and feeling stuck. I felt bad. I reassured him that we were a team, that we were doing great. He kissed me and said I was right. I went to bed that night thinking the strange Northwood obsession was over. For about 2 weeks, things were normal again. We had our pizza Fridays. We went for our Sunday walks. He seemed like his old self. I felt a huge wave of relief. I had my partner back. Then I got an email. It was from the HR department of the company in Northwood. They thanked me for my application and said that while my portfolio was impressive, the position had just been filled. They said they would keep my details on file. I sat at my desk and my blood ran cold. I had not sent an application. I waited until I got home. I did not want to accuse him over the phone. When I walked in, he was in the kitchen chopping vegetables just like any other Tuesday. I held up my phone with the email on it. I just asked him why. He did not even have the decency to look ashamed. He just said he was trying to help. He said I was sabotaging myself, that I was scared of success, and that he knew what was best for us. That was the first time I truly felt scared in our relationship. The argument was the worst we have ever had. It was not just a fight. It was a complete breakdown of trust. I told him he had no right to make decisions for me. I told him he had violated my privacy and my career. He yelled back that I was being ungrateful, that he was trying to build a better future and I was too stuck in my comfortable little rut to see it. He finally broke down. He sat on the floor and cried. He said he was terrified of us stagnating and becoming our parents. He said he felt like he was failing as a provider. He apologized over and over. He swore he would delete the job alerts. He swore he would never ever go behind my back again. It took time, but I believed him. Or I wanted to believe him. We agreed to start couples counseling to figure out where this new insecurity was coming in. We found a therapist. We had an appointment booked for next week. The tension in our apartment slowly started to fade. We were healing. We were talking. I felt like we were going to be okay. Then yesterday happened. I left work early because I was feeling a little sick. I was looking forward to getting home, taking a bath, and maybe watching a movie with Liam later. I walked up to our apartment door and noticed it was slightly open. My heart jumped. I thought we had been robbed. I pushed the door open, and the first thing I saw was boxes, not one or two, dozens, stacked in our hallway. Our good towels were in one. Our wedding photo album, we are not married, it's an album of us at other people's weddings, was in another. Liam was in the living room, carefully wrapping our mugs in newspaper. He looked up when I walked in. He did not look surprised, he smiled. He actually smiled at me, he said, "You're home early." Guess the surprise is ruined. I did not understand. I asked him what was happening. He told me with this bright false energy that it was all settled. He had great news. He had found a new logistics job in Northwood. It was a big promotion. And even better, he had managed to get me a second interview at that design firm. He said he knew they would hire me this time. I just stood there. I could not feel my hands. I told him we had an agreement. I told him we had a counseling appointment, and that is when he told me the rest. He had not just found a job for himself. He had already accepted it. He had signed a 1-year lease on an apartment in Northwood. He had paid the deposit. I asked him how. How could he possibly afford a deposit on a new apartment when we were saving every spare penny for a house fund? He told me he used our joint emergency fund, the one we had spent 3 years building, the one that was my safety net, the one I put my inheritance into. He had emptied it. I asked him, what about my job? He said I could just quit. I asked him, what about my interview? He told me he had already done it for me. He had done a video interview pretending to be a recruiter calling on my behalf. He had forged my signature on a document accepting a formal in-person interview for next Monday. He had booked my train ticket. This was not obsession. This was a full-scale demolition of my life. He had taken my money, my career, and my signature. I told him it was over. I told him to get out. I told him to take his boxes and leave. I was calm. It was the calmest I have ever been. I think I was in shock. This is when the story should end. This is when the villain leaves and the hero starts to rebuild. But it did not. Liam did not move. He did not get angry. He did not yell. He just deflated. All the fake energy vanished. He sat on one of the packed boxes and put his head in his hands. He looked like a man who had just lost everything. After a long silence, he pointed to a letter on our coffee table. It was buried under packing tape. I had not seen it. It was not a job offer. It was a final demand notice from a name I did not recognize. A collections agency. The amount owed was staggering. It was more than our house deposit. It was more than my salary for 2 years. I looked at him, and he could not look at me. He just slid another piece of paper across the table. It was a brochure. A glossy trifold brochure for a place called Gambler's Hope Residential Program. I did not know. In 5 years, I never knew, he told me. He had a problem before he met me. A bad one. He got clean. He swore he was clean. But he relapsed about 6 months ago. It started with online sports betting. It became this. He had not just been stressed about stagnating. He had been drowning. He had been hiding this massive, terrifying secret. The debt was not just from one place. It was from online loans from credit cards I did not know he had. And, he admitted, from a loan shark. He was getting threats. I finally understood. Northwood was not random. The job in logistics he got? It was a low-level, high-stress job, but it was the only place that would hire him immediately without a deep background check. The salary was just enough to cover the minimum payments on the debt. The design firm he was obsessed with me working at? It was not about the money. It was because it was the only major employer within a 30-mile radius of the Gambler's Hope Center. And the treatment center? It was the only one in the entire region that offered a free, long-term residential program. He was trying to get himself into treatment while forcing me into a job to keep them from financial ruin. He did not build a new life for us. He had built an escape route. A desperate, insane, controlling escape route for himself, and he was planning to drag me with him because he was too terrified and too ashamed to tell me the truth. He thought he could fix it all, package it up as a new start, and I would just go along with it. He destroyed my trust and my financial security to save his own life. He is still here. He is sitting on the couch in the living room, surrounded by boxes of a life he tried to steal. I am in the bedroom. I have not said another word to him in over an hour. The train ticket to Northwood is on the kitchen counter. So is the loan shark's final demand. I have no idea what to do. I have no idea what happens now.